Today on the pod, we have a super, super fun guest. She's a content creator and a professional jokester. And if I'm correct, she's a little nerdy, just like me. Everyone, it's Sarah D.
Yes,
say hi.
So great to meet you guys or see you again. And thanks for having me on the pod.
Absolutely. I have a ton of fun travel questions that we're going to talk about today. But the first thing that you can tell the people is, how did you become a content creator?
Yeah, I always had like very fun like skit ideas, and I always wanted to like put them out there. I was a theater reject, like all those high school plays I always tried out and never got a part. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put this out on the internet, not tell any of my friends. And it just kind of grew from there. Now I'm like really lucky to have a very like fun community in the DC area, New York and beyond. So it's been a lot of fun. And now I just do it for funsies, and it's fun to have people laugh with you all day.
I mean, your followers are super fun. I was watching your videos. She makes these like mini movies that are freaking hysterical. I was dying laughing watching those. It's like you pretending like, you know, going through the very stereotypical Hallmark movie.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You gotta love a Christmas Hallmark movie.
And you're just not wrong. They're all the freaking same.
So good.
You have loyal followers. Like, your comments are funny. Everyone's reacting. Everyone's like chatting back and forth. They love you. It's adorable.
It is so fun. I'm like so lucky to have such like a cool community. I mean, I know the internet can be kind of like the Wild West sometimes, but I'm lucky that I like gathered such a cool group of people, and I'm just really lucky to be able to like laugh with them every day and be able to like laugh with them for a year now. So I've been like a year into doing all this fun stuff. So it's been really fun. I'm super lucky.
The Wild West is the perfect way to put it.
It definitely can be.
That's awesome. Well, tell me how you live in DC.
I am in DC. Yeah. I'm from Atlanta, and I moved up to DC for work, the typical DC kind of story. But I moved up for work, didn't know a soul. And I came up here kind of trying to find my own way. And it's just been such a cool city to live in. There's always stuff to do, always events, great food. So it's just been a really cool space to like call home, and I really love it. And so many interesting and hilarious people, you know, all like the government people and people working for different agencies and stuff. So DC's definitely has a personality of its own, I'll say.
Is it like what I'm picturing? Are you just like walking your dog in the mall and you just see like a bunch of lobbyists and people in suits and people?
It really is. It's a lot. It's a very unique city. I feel like there's no other place like it. Like really cool food from all over the world because people move from all over to DC. So it's really cool to be able to like explore the restaurant scene, go to different festivals. So it's really like the melting pot of all the cities, I would say. So it's really cool.
It's wildly different from Atlanta.
Yes, definitely is. Atlanta has like a special place in my heart, but DC was the perfect place to go to kind of like explore on my own and kind of build a home somewhere else. So it's been really cool. And everyone's like so interesting. So everyone has like an interesting story to tell from somewhere else in the world. And obviously lots of awesome travel stories. Like the embassies are obviously in DC. So people are always traveling all over the place. So whenever I need like a good travel recommendation, there's always somebody. Like you'd ask pretty much anyone on the street and they would have very strong opinions, I'm sure.
That is the city of strong opinions.
It definitely is. That is a great way to put it.
That's so cool though. I mean, we're in our 20s. There's no better time to move. It's so important, I think, to like get out of your hometown and just live your life and figure things out on your own.
Definitely. It's been so fun. Oh, yeah. And you guys are in Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you guys going to Disney World all the time? Disney World's in Orlando, right?
Every day. We go, Kenny and I go every day.
You guys probably feel similarly how I feel about like the monuments and stuff of like, yes, I'm there, but like, no, we don't go all the time type of thing.
Yeah, I haven't been in forever, to be honest with you. But it is like around the holidays and stuff, it's super fun. They like go bananas for Halloween and Christmas and the whole enchilada.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, same here. They have like the giant Capitol Christmas tree and decoration all over the place, of course. And like the White House does all these really cool like decorations, and they do like a Christmas tree from every state type of thing. Obviously, there's a bunch of like holiday stuff happening here all the time. But yeah, they have like a Christmas tree from every state. You like walk around. They have like little hot chocolate. So it's really cool. A lot of fun like holiday stuff.
Well, I never go to Disney, but if you come to Orlando, we can go on a date to Disney World. I'll make that happen. That can be arranged. Okay, so Sarah, on your TikTok, you have a ton of DC content. It's so fun and funny, and it's taught me a lot. I haven't been there since I was like 10 years old. So watching your stuff is giving me a little insight into what the people are like and what the city is like. We have been doing a series for the company doing highlighting like you have a free day in blank. What are you going to do? Like a free day in this city. So if we said you have an extra day in Washington, D.C., what are like 2 things off the top of your head that are just so worth doing?
Ooh.
They can be touristy, non-touristy, whatever you got.
Yeah. I love Eastern Market. It's right in like the Capitol Hill neighborhood, and you like walk down this like really pretty like cobblestone street, and it has like all these little shops and vendors from again like all over the world. Like I just got, well, hopefully my mom's not listening to this, but I got my mom a Christmas present from there, so it's perfect for like any kind of shopping. Like you find the coolest like artists there, and there's this like giant building that has like all these different like cuisines and it's basically like a really cool version of like a grocery store, and then like vendors outside with like just amazing like stalls and artists, and it's really a cool one. So definitely Eastern Market would be one. Let me think. Another one would probably be the Wharf, which is basically kind of this area that's like right on the water. And like right on the river, I should say, which is DC. And it's just another area. I just love like little streets where you can walk up and down and find like new restaurants. And there's always something going on at the Wharf. So you like there's like a giant boardwalk and you can like kayak from there. And there's always a ton of people, really cool, like stalls for restaurants and bars, of course. And it's just like a really cool spot, and a lot of like boats. I mean, I don't have a boat or anything, but if you know, you can like rent a boat or whatever. So yeah, it's really like a cool spot, whether it's like the winter or the summer. And I love both of those spots. I would
be so wildly impressed if you had a boat.
I would have truly made it if I had a boat.
Same. We'll get there. We're making our way.
To say.
So how did you find these places? I mean, just from exploring, from Googling, from asking people, like, how did you find these awesome spots?
Yeah, honestly, all the spots that I find are from like social media, like pretty much TikTok. Like I my explore page is like all really cool, like places to explore in the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia. For anyone who's not a DC person, it's like not the DMV, like Department of Motor Vehicles.
Not where you get your license.
Which I learned very quickly when I got here. I was like, everyone's talking about the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Everyone loves the DMV. It's so weird.
But there's so many cool people that'll like find these underground spots, and like it's fun because like now I feel like I've become one of those people that like finds the spots really early on. Like I found this spa recently. It's called Balion Springs, and it's basically like an all-inclusive resort for like a day, and it's just amazing. You like go, there's like food and like pools and hot tubs and all that stuff. So it feels like if you need a trip to Mexico and you can't go to Mexico, you can just basically have that experience for a day.
That is right up my alley. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Spa day?
You need to come to Balion Springs.
That sounds way more fun than you coming and us going to Disney World. I'll come there and we'll go to the spa.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's really just like looking on social media, like seeing what other like local guide type of people have found. And there's a ton of them in all kinds of cities, of course, of like just finding those spots. Like I think there's like hashtag like DC TikTok or something, and it's always like a million like really cool spots. And then there's also
that crazy? Like, isn't that I just bought something the other day and I couldn't figure out how to build it, and I typed it in on TikTok and it gave me all the instructions. Who needs instructions anymore when you have YouTube?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, my fiance was just saying that the other day. He was like, why are you using TikTok like Google? Like any question I have, I'm just like TikTok.
It's the new way, dude.
There you go.
So you gave us three technically awesome things you can do. Is there anything in DC you would say of like to avoid on your trip?
Ooh.
Anywhere, anyone? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. there's nothing that comes to mind to like avoid because I feel like there's just so much. I mean, DC is like a very condensed city, I think.
Yeah.
So really you could go anywhere and like everything's pretty much walkable or like metroable, which is like our subway. So you can kind of go anywhere, to be honest. It's a really, really cool like city. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere I'd say not to go, and I really can't even come up with anything, to be honest.
Well, that's pretty damn good. I
go.
could think of some places to avoid in a lot of cities, and you love it so much that you can't think of one. That's adorable.
I'm like convincing everyone to come to DC. I'm like, nothing bad about it.
Hey, that's amazing. You love where you live. How lucky are you? That's awesome. So tell me, a cool thing that you do on your TikTok is you recommend and review like restaurants and itineraries of things that people can do on their trip to DC. Yeah. So like, tell me more about, is it called The Nudge?
Yes, The Nudge. So I'm a Nudge contributor. So I was like a fan of them like a year ago or something. And I made this TikTok about like, this is just like the best like business idea I've ever heard of. Basically, you like sign up on their website, like give your phone number, and they text you for free fun plans to do in your city. And it is just the coolest thing. And it's like all over the US, basically. Like it's in DC, New York, Dallas, Chicago, I think like a bunch of different cities. And you basically just sign up for free and they send you fun plans. And now like a year later, I like make videos for them now. So I go and like find cool restaurants, cool things to do, whether it's like hip indoor mini golf in the former Spy Museum, which is like the last one I did. And just like go and you get that text and you're like, all right, I have my weekend plan now. And you just go and explore the city. And so I like make those videos now for them, which has been really cool. So I'm a Nudge contributor these days, which is very fun.
That is a genius idea. Are they like super unique things that you wouldn't find like on a Yelp review kind of situation?
Yeah, I feel like it's more for like, if you're a very busy person, which I feel like a lot of us are, and you're just like, I don't want to have to like explore through like a million things, like a million TikToks, for example. It's always like, okay, like here's a plan of something to do. And it'll be like, oh, the best happy hours in your cities. Like text 1 if you're in this neighborhood, text 2 if you're in this neighborhood. And you'll like text 1 and it'll be like, here's the best happy hour in your neighborhood. And like, here's the deal type of thing. So it's really cool. I like loved it way before I was a Nudge contributor. And when they were like, we're looking for people to make videos for it, I was like, me, please.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to start nudging.
Yes, you have to.
I want to nudge.
Yeah. I think their website's like the nudge.com, nudge text. I don't know. Just Google nudge text.
Nudge text, yeah.
Yes, there you go. They're going to be like, you don't even know the link. Wow.
We'll just like edit it so you sounded like you knew it right off the bat.
There we go. The beauty of editing.
That's such a great freaking idea. Seriously. Like that is so cool. And it comes in text. You don't have to like log into an app or anything. That's so simple.
No, they literally just text you. And every time I see like the Nudge just text you, I'm like, yes, what am I doing this week?
And I'm going to Dallas next week, and I will so try
it. My gosh,
I'll let you know how it goes.
You should. Oh, that would be awesome. I want to hear about the Dallas experience. That sounds cool. I haven't seen what other cities like do, so I'm excited to hear about it. But I'm sure it's cool.
Yes.
They all have like their little group of contributors, people who like go out and find cool things. So it's really cool. It's like I'm like mad I didn't come up with it myself. I'm like, this is like the coolest idea.
Story of my life. I wish I invented that.
Why didn't I think of that first?
So one of my favorite things about your social media, like my personal favorite video that you have ever made is she made a video about all of the guys, all the different types of guys you meet in DC. Like, how did you come up with that? Was it from like your own like dating in DC experience, or were you just watching girls like roll their eyes at the bar and you were like, this is relatable?
Oh my gosh. It was more just like meeting people like out in the world and like my friends dating. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone in DC who sees that is like, oh my gosh, spot on. Like even my mom and her little friend group who also lived in DC in their 20s were like, I showed them the video and they were like, hasn't changed 20 years later. Like there's still those bros. So it is very funny, but it's so interesting. Like I feel like no other city has interesting bros like that. It's like DC bro type of thing.
Interesting bros.
Interesting bros for sure.
Oh my gosh. And 20 years from now, it's going to be the same.
There we go.
You'll be telling your kids it's the same shit.
There's some DC bros in training out there in the world right now.
I love that. As someone who is recently single, is DC good for dating? Like, do we recommend this or probably not?
I wouldn't.
She's like, just go to the spa, dude. Don't even.
Strings, yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of interesting people, like ambitious people. And it was like someone named them on, so there's some article that was like, DC named the best city for dating. And it was like, a riot broke out. People were like, no, it's the worst city.
The women are protesting in the streets. It's a lie. It's a hoax.
I mean, everyone's super like ambitious here, but yeah, there's a lot of like, it kind of depends who you're going for, I guess. But
ambition does not make a nice guy.
Yeah,
it can, like, but it doesn't always.
Exactly. It's kind of like Secession, except like government version.
Oh my God, that sounds like my worst nightmare.
It's rough out here.
Good to know. I will come to DC and hang out by myself or with you. Who needs boys when I have Sarah D?
Oh my gosh.
I love that. Okay. Totally good to know. Insider tips, everybody. Don't date in DC if you can handle it. Don't date at the DMV is what we're going to call this episode.
Don't date at the DMV. Love is Blind is coming to DC actually.
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm like, I'm just like, this is going to be a wealth of content. I can't wait.
That show like blew up the world, honestly.
Yeah, it is so. I'm like such a fiend for reality TV, and like especially that kind of reality TV. I'm like, I love watching people make bad decisions.
I know. Me too on the reality. I mean, it's trash, but like I just can't stop. I can't get enough.
Yeah, same. I feel that. I'm like Selling Sunset. I'm like, I don't know anything about real estate, but I'm bought in.
I love how like it tricks people into thinking you do know anything about real estate. You don't. Yes. It doesn't teach you anything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so true. I think Love is Blind is probably my favorite one though, honestly. Like the different personalities and just wow. It's just like amazing. I can't ever
stop.
So
quality. It's like more relatable, right? You watch Selling Sunset and the only thing you think is like, I am so poor.
Yes. Like I know.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God. It'll be like a $20 million house. I'm like, those shutters, like no. Like what am I saying about a $20 million house? Like no.
The outfits. Yeah, you could afford one shutter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Gosh. I love it. Well, that's what we'll do in DC. We'll just like watch a bunch of trash TV and go to the market.
There you go. You can sign up for Love is Blind.
Oh my God, stop. I would pass away.
Have you guys seen that show? You have, right?
Yes. Oh,
okay,
yes.
Good. You haven't?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh,
No.
You have to. It's amazing. So all these people go into like these pods where you can't see each other. You like have to talk through a wall and get engaged through a wall without ever like meeting each other in person. It's very interesting.
Absurd.
And they don't know what each other looks like and there's just so much drama. And I just can't wait to see all those DC bros go in there. I'm just gonna be like, wow.
Oh, you are gonna have so much TikTok content from this.
For real.
I love that. So let's like dip into your traveling experiences because I know that you frequent yourself as an avid traveler, and I would just love to hear like the favorite place your favorite vacation you've ever been on, or the least favorite vacation you've ever been on. Hit me.
Oh, okay. I have two favorite vacations. One was going to Italy with my fiance, who was just my boyfriend at the time. And we went to Rome, Florence, and Venice. Nice. Yeah, and it was just incredible. I mean, those are like the big three like cities to hit in Italy, and it was just incredible. I mean, Rome, they have like the Vatican museums and like just incredible like sightseeing, like the Roman Forum. Like you could really spend like hours and hours like walking through like every museum pretty much. So that was an awesome one. Florence is kind of like kind of what you envision like romantic Italy to be like. Like you just like are walking down cobblestone steps and like there's the fountains and the beautiful river and everything's just like beautiful and Italian. And
Yeah, just
amazing
dripping in
food.
romance.
Oh,
I know.
yes, the food is
I would
so
love to go
good.
there.
And then Venice was like, obviously, well, you know what Venice looks like. It's like just incredible. Like take the gondolas out. And we went in August, which everyone was like, Venice is going to smell like fish because it's like too hot. That was what I heard before we went, and it did not at all. So I can vouch for Venice does not smell like fish in August.
Did you hear that, you guys? Venice does not, we repeat, does not smell like fish in August.
I will not accept the Venice slander.
Please tell me that you did the gondola situation.
Yes, I totally did. And it was so cool. And I know everyone's like, Venice is going to be underwater. So it's like, we have to see this. And like, it's crazy. There's like an inch between like the end of the cobblestones and the water. And we would just like eat pasta, like looking out on the water. And it was amazing. So
that is the life.
Yeah.
That is the life. So did you guys do a lot of like touristy things like in Rome and Florence and stuff? Or did you kind of just like let your eyes take you around?
Yeah, we pretty much did all the touristy stuff, to be honest. And we went like, I think it was like 3 or 4 days in each city, depending on, it was like in between like high school and college. So I was like, we were like, I'm free. And then we just like went because we actually like could take the time, So yeah, and we just like hit the touristy spots. And obviously everyone has a very different like travel personality, but we just did like 2 big things a day. And that was like perfect amount, like some people will like stack it back to back. Like in my family, my dads are like, we literally call him our travel agent because he'll be like, all right, itinerary. 8 a.m. we're getting up. We're doing that. It's like 20 things. So he's really intense about it. But yeah, we just did a couple of like touristy things a day and it was awesome. It was like chill enough. Like we were like, oh, we really don't want to do another museum. We were just like, all right, let's just chill and eat some ice cream and like,
yeah, I just want to eat.
Yes.
That's on the itinerary.
Exactly.
That's all it is, just eating.
There you go. The one other trip that I went on that was like incredible was I went to Peru with my family, and it was kind of like ecotourism. So we did Lima, which is the capital. And it's just like a city. And then we went to Cusco, which is where Machu Picchu is. So we like went up to Machu Picchu and we like climbed the stairs. I think it was called the Stairs of Death, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm
you
pretty
made it out.
sure because I remember we were like, should we do this? But it was worth doing for sure. And then we went into the Amazon and we had to like hike for 2 hours, take a boat, and then hike for another hour, and then take a canoe to like get to this campsite, like literally in the middle of the rainforest. And it was incredible, like seriously once in a lifetime. But I will say I did get, unfortunately, E. coli on that trip.
Oh, no.
It was still like one of my favorite trips, and luckily I was not like feeling like I was on my deathbed until I was leaving. Like the hike out, I was like, but the rest of it was like incredible, honestly.
The E. coli did not ruin my trip.
It did not ruin the trip. It's still up there, and it's always like a funny story now. Like I was like, wow, I was really in the middle of the rainforest, like struggling.
Machu Picchu is so on my bucket list. They're actually, it's in talks. It's like in the works that they're gonna shut it down. Not, just because so many people visited a year, it's becoming so popular that they need to like preserve it. Yeah. So I gotta go like immediately.
Yes, definitely worth doing. Yeah. They also have like llamas, like just walking freely in like the ruins. I didn't realize that. Because I've seen like people like with taking pictures of llamas and stuff like on social or whatever, but no, they're just like walking free. And I was just, they're like lawnmowers, like basically these llamas, like they never have to mow the grass.
Llama mowers? That's adorable.
There you go.
I love that. Those are great answers, by the way. Awesome places. When you have a long flight like that, like from here to Italy or here to Peru, oh my gosh, what are you watching? What are you downloading?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
She's like, Love is Blind.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I feel like I just like on those really long flights, they have like the plane seat, like the screens. So I always end up watching like however many movies to fill up the entire flight because I'm not a plane sleeper. So I'm always like, and it's always like the latest releases. So I'm always like, okay, this is my chance. This is like basically a movie theater. And you always go back and you're like, guys, we have to watch this one on the plane ride back, you know?
I can't sleep on a plane either. That's a curse.
I'm like, I don't understand people who can. I'm like, how are you doing that? You know? Like they'll have the neck pillows and they're just like just completely, I'm like, how are you sleeping?
Good night. Yeah, I wish. Oh my God, that would be amazing. I'm going to Australia in 26 days.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's a 15 and a half hour flight. And I know for a damn fact that I will not be sleeping.
Oh my gosh. Are you going first class because it's such like a long flight? I've always wanted to do that.
Girl, I wish. Are you kidding?
One
I would
day,
be
that and the boats.
I'd be so swaggy to take a flight that long in first class. It'd be so cool.
Oh my God.
I am going first class to Dallas though.
Oh,
so
nice. There you go.
you know, I'm just gonna order my little champagne and sit there like I'm fancy.
Oh my gosh, that's like the dream. I really want to hear all about this Dallas trip and the Australia trip. Where are you going? Like what cities?
I'm going to Sydney, and then we're going up to Byron Bay, which is like Sunshine Coast, like above Sydney on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I haven't been there. I've been to Sydney, but I haven't been to Byron. So it'll be really fun. I'm trying to convince my girlfriend to skydive with me. And she's like, fuck no. She's like, I'll watch you from the ground.
Oh my
but no.
gosh, that's incredible. Oh, wow. So what, like, have you planned out your itinerary yet or no?
No, I think, you know, I used to live there and her and I were best friends, and we are probably just going to hit up all of our old stomping grounds. That's kind of the plan. Just like relive the past as older, more badder bitches.
Yes. Oh my gosh, how is it living in Australia? That sounds incredible. That's
Oh
like the
my gosh.
dream.
I know. I wake up like every day being like, oh, I'm not there
in
anymore.
Australia.
It was just amazing. And like everyone speaks English, obviously. There's not really that much of a culture shock. Like the grocery store is like designed around Winn-Dixie. So you walk in and it literally looks like you're in a Winn-Dixie. The only difference is they don't really sell peanut butter.
Anywhere.
Not really. It's like not really a thing. They eat Vegemite. If you've heard of that, don't recommend
I have
that.
heard of it.
Ugh. I don't even want to put anything, like it's like black and slimy looking. It doesn't even look like you should eat it.
Oh my gosh, Australia, that's incredible. How long were you there?
Like 14 months.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was the best thing I ever did. I did what you did kind of.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just need to move somewhere and like start the next chapter of my life. And so I said, screw it, and went as far as I could.
Literally the furthest you had gone.
I know. My parents were like, okay, when are you going? And I was like, in a week. And they were like, well, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's incredible. Okay, goals, honestly.
Just, just every time I like do something bold that sounds potentially terrifying, it always works out, and I never regret it.
I totally agree with that sentiment. Like, if you're a little scared, like, it's probably the right move, to be honest, you know?
Totally. Yes.
That is so cool.
But
why did you choose Australia?
I work in the film industry, and I was looking up like things that I could, like jobs I could have in different countries with film. And most of them were like Amsterdam, Berlin. I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to enter into this thing of like being a coffee girl at a film production house, and they're all speaking German. I'm just like, nein, no sprechen Sie Deutsch. I wasn't ready. Like, I know that's the only thing I can say in German is I don't speak German. So I was like, Australia, they speak English. Everyone's so cute. They like to do like similar things to Florida people. Let's go.
Yeah. Were you like surfing? I don't know. Is Sydney like a surfer town, or did you live in Sydney?
Girl, you don't want to see me try to surf. Nobody needs that. I have horrible balance and I'm not a great swimmer. So it's not a good combo for me. I've never tried. Maybe on this trip I'll try, to try that bold thing. I'll just take a surf lesson or something.
Yes, there you go. Oh, you should. That'd be so fun. Wow. Was Australia where you like I mean, Australia obviously has like crazy like animals. I know that's like their whole thing is like giant spiders. Like, was that not a deterrent? Or were you like, I need to stay vigilant for spiders and stuff?
You know, I'm not really, I'm terrified of snakes. Terrified. If I see one, you'll never see me again because I'm just running as fast as I can in the other direction. Exactly. But spiders don't really freak me out. I will say though, I was like in my apartment one night, you know, I just woke up to like get some water or something, and I opened my eyes, and right above my bed, like right above my head, was a spider that was like probably this big. For those of you that can't see, it's like it was like the size of like a small personal pizza.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just chilling above me. I'd heard about them. People like warned me. They were like, they love to crawl in shoes. They will definitely come in your house, even if you're like vigilant about it. They're just everywhere. And I just called my landlord, and I went and stayed at my girlfriend's house. I was like, how am I going to be able to fall back asleep? Fuck no. So I just left. And the next day he was like, I put it outside. And I was like, what? How far?
Where's the hole he came in via?
Yeah. I was like, how do you get in? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh my God. That's reassuring. Thank you.
Nightmare fuel.
Totally. Maybe I'm a little terrified of spiders. But I want to talk more about you in DC. One of the funnest things is that you love a DC roast.
I do love a good DC roast.
How do you get your content for your roasts? Are you just like acquiring crazy stories from your girlfriends, or are you just experiencing this shit all day?
I feel like it's kind of both, to be honest. Like, I just love, and when you like post a roast, you're always like, oh gosh, is everyone going to be like super mad about this? No, people love it, which is like, that's an awesome thing about DC. Like, they're so like, they have a great sense of humor, honestly, which is really great. Like, I'll be like, roasting, like, people in Maryland are obsessed with Maryland. Like, there's no state pride like a Maryland state pride, which I did not know until I moved here. Like, every Maryland person will be like, Maryland is the best state. And I was like, once I posted that, I was like, oof, these Marylanders are about to like end me. But no, they were like loving it. So like, honestly, I feel like it's more just like being out in the world and just like meeting interesting people. And like, DC has such a cool culture of like all different kinds of people, like people who moved up to be in government, people who work at the embassies and are just like traveling all over the world, people who have like government clearances and, are trying to be secret, but just flex their clearances basically. They're like, I'm important. You're like, okay.
You're like, whatever, dude.
Yes. And, like all the bougie DC people, like it's just very fun.
They know their stereotypes and they own it.
They do, which I appreciate, honestly. Like, I'm like, I appreciate you can take a good roast.
Respect. Do you feel like living there? Like, I mean, I'm not really like super political. I don't really like keep up too hard with stuff, but are you like involved? Like, do you just feel like you're just involved because you're there, or can you kind of just like live in your own little world and be there? I feel like
no, you really cannot. Everything's like happening right around you. Like literally yesterday I was walking around downtown. I went to a museum and there was like the motorcade obviously was coming through, as they always are in DC, and everyone was like tweeting like Biden's motorcade messing up my commute to work or whatever. And I was like, you just like run in, you can't avoid it at all. Like I remember I used to live in this one neighborhood and I like was just walking to a restaurant, and at the restaurant is AOC. Like you literally cannot avoid anything. Like, and people love to talk about it at parties, kind of unfortunately, but
right.
But it's just like the nature of the city, unfortunately. But
I'm just trying to enjoy my tequila soda. Stop asking me about the war.
Asking me about this. Exactly. Be like, how are you feeling about the regime change for blah blah blah? And we're like, I'm not in that world. Like, I don't know.
You're like, I could give you a really good restaurant recommendation though.
There you go. That is my contribution to the friend group.
That's awesome.
Could you imagine? So we, Sarah, we sent you before this. We sent you us interviewing Nick Gray.
Yeah.
And so we took his framework and we threw our own cocktail party in Orlando. And as you were talking, I was just thinking about like, oh my God, Imagine a cocktail party in DC versus Orlando versus Alabama versus California versus New York.
Yeah.
It's just
That's fun.
Oh, you want to throw one in each one of those cities and we'll invite the listeners? Like maybe 6 people show up, maybe 20 people show up.
You so should.
Let's go. First stop, DC.
Yes. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I did this one thing that was like bros around the world, which it was like literally that, like different cities. That was the one that I had been to, you know? And it was like just so much. And then people would be like, oh my gosh, like people from California would message me or whatever and be like, these DC bros, it's the same here, except it's tech bros. Like the same exact thing as we say, like, what do you do for work is like the first thing you say, or like anyone says at any party, boo. Then in like the tech world in California, they were like, it's the same thing here, just like minorly changed. You guys should totally do that though.
Just Silicon Valley bros. Yeah,
Silicon Valley bros.
God, there are bros everywhere, man. Can't escape the bros.
All the brands.
What's the best bro to like hang out with at a party though? Like, what's your flavor of bro?
Oh, my flavor bro. That's hard. Okay. I feel like maybe, honestly, the main thing is like if they're not pretentious about whatever they're doing, you know, like I'm like, okay, I respect that you're into whatever you're into, but like just don't be like, I'm better than you about it. You know what I mean? Which I feel like is a little bit the DC thing. People are like, I'm more important than you. And you're like, okay, rude.
Who do you think you are?
Exactly. I'm like, come on. But yeah, I feel like as long as they're like just cool about it, I feel like that's all right. As long as they're like, this is my thing and I own it and I'm not better than you, then great, you know?
Good luck asking them not to be pretentious though. Good luck.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I have a little segment.
Ooh,
I feel like you are the perfect person for me to do this with. It's called Opinions. It's not really all opinions, but you know, that's just your opinion. So whatever.
There we go.
So I'm going to ask you some questions and let's get started.
I'm ready.
Okay. If you could have a song play every time you entered a room, what would it be?
Ooh, Industry Baby by Lil Nas X.
You had it ready.
I was ready. Perfect. It's from the Spotify Wrapped. You know, everyone's like, got my Wrapped out, you know? So there we go. He was top of the list.
It was like, Sarah D, you're in the top 0.01% listeners.
Exactly.
Of Lil Nas.
Ooh, what about you guys?
Have you? Oh,
we should do a round robin of these.
Kenny?
So when I used to play basketball, we always used to come out to bring them out. It's hard to
a classic.
A classic. We used to run out. We thought we were like so cool. We were 16. We were corny as hell. But in that like 30 seconds where you ran through the tunnel and you hear like the whole thing go, that's cool.
Wow. That's cool.
Love that.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. What's funny is like mine, the first one that came to mind was like, all I do is win no matter what. And I feel like we're all on the same page with what we're trying to project.
There we are. Yes, we're all like, yeah. Good vibes.
We're all trying to look like badasses.
Exactly.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. I have a funny basketball story whenever we want to take a pause. But actually, I'll just tell you guys now. Because Kenny, I know you're saying your basketball like walkout song. I have this really embarrassing story that I will tell you guys. From middle school, I was on the school basketball team. And the one thing they did not teach us was that the baskets flipped halfway through the game. And they're like, first you're shooting out this basket, and then you suddenly, it's on the other one. And I just did not know this rule. So, and we're like the middle of the game, and it's like a really small school, so like everybody goes to these games. And I see the basket's open. I got the ball. I'm running. Crowd's cheering. Or so I thought. They were saying no. They're saying, please stop. And I'm running. I make the basket. And I dance. I'm like, woo! And everyone's like, wrong basket! And they were like, and I was like, no. And then that was my story for like the rest of my school years. They were like, you were the girl who scored on the wrong basket, right?
They're saying Sarah, no, and you think they're saying woo.
Exactly. I was like, wow, they're cheering. This is my like rock star moment. Your song was probably playing, Kenny.
The crowd goes wild. That is so funny.
Remember when the fur bus was really popular? Or maybe that's a very niche reference.
Oh, yes. No. Yes.
Yes, the
what are you
fur
talking
bus
about?
was so popular. It was like a school bus. If you don't know, there's a school bus filled with fur inside for some reason, and kids would have birthday parties on it. I'm sure it was super expensive. And my mom was like, okay, we're not doing the fur bus for your birthday, but I will make the minivan, the fur van. So we went to like Michael's, bought like all this random fur and like took all the seats out and like taped it to the walls of the van. And we were like, yeah, fur van.
Stop. What a
There we go. So no
mom.
fur.
Your mom sounds like a delight.
Oh,
that is
she
so
pure.
sweet.
She is an angel.
She's like, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. The door slides open to the side. You guys all hop out in fur.
Literally. And we were like blasting the music. It was so much fun.
I love that. Okay. Which celebrity would you vote for as president?
Ooh.
Sorry to get political on you here.
Oh, that's so hard.
It is hard.
Ooh.
You want to hear mine?
Oh, yes. Let's do yours first.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, she would be great. Oh, that's a great one.
I just freaking love her. And just like as a normal, not like, you know, maybe not like meat dress Lady Gaga, but like just, she's just so cool. Like I watched her documentary and I was like, she just seems like a real person.
Oh, yes. I haven't watched her documentary. Now I want to.
Mm-hmm. Get on it. Worth it.
Connor, you had this like weird pause, and I was like, "Please don't say Kanye. Please don't say Kanye."
I would never.
I was like, "That's gonna have to go to HR." Escalated very fast.
Escalate.
I get fired tomorrow. Well, what was funny is the first song that popped into my head with like your walk up song was "Stronger" by Kanye, and I was like, I can't say that.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Stop.
Kanye is about to get the Michael Jackson treatment and R. Kelly, where like you can't even really say that you like their songs anymore.
Yeah, you can't. I remember my fiance did his Spotify Wrapped, and Kanye was on there, and he had to put like he like posted it on Instagram and put over his name like redacted, like no longer like. I was like, wow.
Oh wow!
Yikes!
Rough for Kanye.
We don't feel bad for Kanye.
That's
just
true.
to clarify,
Just
everyone.
to be clear.
Okay.
Oh wait,
This is
did you
such
have
a
your answer,
stupid
Kenny?
question.
What was the question? I'm stuck on Kanye now.
Oh, which celebrity would you vote for as president?
Well, I can't do my dinner guest one because I got in hot water for that one. But
You did.
for president, you know who I'm going with? Denzel Washington.
Oh, good
Come
choice.
on. He's like classy, smart, quiet. He chooses his words carefully. And like maybe he'll fuck you up too if you fuck around.
There we go.
So,
I feel like you said the only one that could actually happen. Like people would actually vote for Denzel.
There we go.
oh, Denzel would win in like a landslide. It would be sick.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, mine is not one, but like a crew, and it's the Fab Five from Queer Eye. I'm obsessed with them. They are the best. Like
They're all president.
they're all collectively president.
They're all 1/5 president of the United States.
Oh, they should be so much better with them. Like they just are everything.
The White House would get such a sick makeover.
Oh, it would look amazing. Bobby would have such his work cut out for him. Like biggest
That's
project.
a great choice. Great choice. I love that show.
It's
oh my
so
gosh.
good. It's so like feel good too. Ugh.
Yes, it's a real upper.
It is.
Like if I'm sad, that's a good one to throw on.
If you just want to like get in your feels, you're like, I'm gonna cry, but I'm also gonna be happy at the end of this. So, it's just so good.
I cry watching it like more than I'd like to admit. Like
That's
happy
fair.
tears, sad tears. Like people are just so grateful for their help. It's so sweet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're amazing. I follow all of them on like social. And I'm like, yes.
Okay, last one. What do you call the device you use to change the channel on your TV?
Oh, remote.
The remote? Okay, that's fair. I say clicker.
Oh,
Is that weird?
That's so Louisiana.
That's so Southern of you. At least I don't say TV changer. Who does that?
TV?
I hear it.
Who have you met in your life that's even a thing?
That's just absurd. The TV changer? Come on.
no.
That's like calling the toaster like the bread heater upper. You just can't you can't be too direct like that.
Can't do it.
Well, those are all please, I could ask you ridiculous questions all day, but those are the only ones I have for you.
Oh, that was such a fun game. Yeah, you guys should get that going.
Yes, and you've already given me a ton of your time, and I super appreciate you just coming and hanging out.
Yeah, this was so much fun. Thanks for having me. We got to talk about all the things. Middle school embarrassing stories to E. coli in Peru.
Oh, girl, I will text you later and tell you some middle school embarrassing stories that no one on the pod is allowed to know.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, I love that.
But I will tell you how my nudging experience goes in Dallas. I'm super excited to try it out, and I'll report back.
Yeah. Yes, please let me know. I'm excited. Yes. And if anyone wants to find my funny stuff after this, my socials are at It's Ya Girl Sarah D. Like, it's Ya, like YA, girl, and Sarah with an H, D. So there you go.
Yes.
You wanna follow along?
ITSYAGIRLSARHD.
Yeah. There we go.
Awesome. What is that? TikTok and Instagram?
Yeah, TikTok and Insta. You girls just making funny things all day.
Awesome.
Being
You guys, she's
ridiculous.
hilarious. Seriously, give her a follow. You will laugh. I promise you. And please, if you're listening to this, go watch that Dating Guys in DC video because it is worth it.
So good.
So much fun. Oh, thank you guys for having me on. It was so much fun.
Absolutely. Have a really good day, Sarah. And I will talk to you super soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.